and welcome to Hot Money Technicals on Bloomberg Quint Live, India's first digital live streaming business news service. This is a show which gets you a complete wrap of all the stocks that are buzzing in trade. I'm Darshan Mehta. Let's welcome our experts then. Dhaneshwar Padwal of KIFS Securities and Amit Shah of Indiabulls Ventures join us on the show. But before we begin with the show, with 100 is the buy level that you would speak at. What's your sense on this?
Yeah, so as you rightly said, Darshan, it has been an outperformer within the auto pack, and I think that doesn't change. It's just a very minor normal corrections that any stocks go through. Even the best of stocks, they do decline and go up. That is how tops and bottoms are made. No, I mean, there's nothing alarming. Yes, we could see a move towards 3,000, 3,020 kind of levels on the downside, but I'd look to accumulate towards that zone. I would not look to short this stock as of now.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in on Bajaj Auto. Buy at lower levels, not short at this level. Is that something that you would agree? Would you be a buyer in Godfrey?
Yes, I would completely agree with him. Actually, the stock is showing good momentum on the upside. So above 1100, stock has broken out in the short term. So it's a confluence of a short-term breakout, and also that breakout is coinciding with the overall larger setup breakout, which is a 4-year consolidation, which could materialize into a very big breakout. So if the stock sustains above the recent top of 1300, actually it can go and make fresh all-time highs above 1650 also. I would look to buy this stock at this price. I would also use some declines towards 1100, 1120 kind of zone. Keep a stop below 940 and try and ride this as much as possible. This could be a big one.
Okay, that could be the move that come in. Godfrey Phillips is the one. The next stock we want to talk about is Granules India. Came out with very strong set of numbers in the second quarter. There was a sharp move that happened post the counter. Let's have the chart. Again, you could see the level that the counter has moved from levels of 75, 80, 85 to levels of almost 130 now. Do you believe there could be more potential upside?
Definitely. So, this is a monthly chart. So each candle is, a month's move. So what we are seeing here is, this zone had been, this yellow zone had been acting as a support. We had seen a breach, a temporary breach, I would say. It was a premature breakdown or a false breakdown, I would say. So this zone had, had seen breakdowns. Normally, such kind of breakdowns, you see stocks sliding very, very sharply, but that is not the case with Granules. So I would call this as a premature breakdown. And post that, what we have seen is a nice consolidation, a formation of a triangular pattern for a good amount of time. It has closed on a monthly basis for 1 month, and now also we are almost ending towards reaching towards the end of the month. Again, this month also we are seeing good support coming in at this zone. So the setup looks quite good, and generally when there is a false or a premature breakdown on the wrong side, generally stocks tends to shoot on the other side. So it's a nice setup. Overall pharma is coming back in a way, so I think it's a nice setup for a long entry.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in on Granules India.
And just, sorry. The target would be, the first target would be 160 on the upside and 175 on the upside.
Okay, 160 and?
175.
160 and 175. What's the strict stop loss for this?
I'll keep a stop of 112 on this one.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Dhaneshwar, Granules India. Amit, what's your sense on ITC? Would you be sure?
Yeah, I mean, within the FMCG pack, it has been a big laggard, and it has broken down below the levels of 249 kind of levels on the downside, but at the same time it's not showing that vigor on the downside. It's just slowly and steadily grinding down. Yes, the direction is definitely on the downside. I would not actually look to buy this stock unless and until it closes about 270 region, So till 270 region is not breached on the upside on a closing basis, I would continue to remain short on this one. Or I would even advise some of the investors, this could be a good exit point at some point of time. This stock can have a slow and grinding down phase on the downside, and we could see levels of about 195 on the downside.
Okay, so ITC is the stock, probably not the bullish call that's coming in. The next stock is a strategy that Amit has on Raymond. Now, remember, a while back, Raymond did a lot of restructuring as far as its textile business is concerned, the other business is concerned, and the market somehow seems to like it. Let's pull up the chart and we can clearly see the big up move that came. Yes, that was the big up move from levels of 600 to 800. Do you believe it's managed to correct down by almost 75, 80, 90 rupees? What's the ideal strategy here?
Yeah, so see, I mean, this phase of down phase and then a consolidation and then a big breakout. I mean, this is a weekly candle, you know, with a very, very strong volumes. You know, this kind of volumes indicate, you know, good hands being into the stock, strong hands being into the stock. That's the indication here. So it was a nice weekly strong close, almost towards the top of the weekly close. So that's a very nice setup. The recent retracement towards key you know, averages offers a very good entry point onto the stock. So basically the momentum is building up for Raymond. Overall, the broader trend, also the larger picture is also quite good. So I mean, current scenario offers a good entry point.
So you said buy on dips. Till what level is that? 715?
I would look to buy
till what level?
I would actually buy here as well, because the dip has already come, and it is near support area. So I would actually go ahead and buy even at this price.
Till what level?
And another 15-20 rupees on the downside is always welcome, but I would still even go ahead and buy at this level as well.
So when does this trade become null and void? What's the stop loss?
I'll keep a stop of 680 on the downside.
Okay.
And the target that I'm looking for is 810 and then 855 on the upside.
Okay, so you see the recent highs again being tested, and
yes,
then
recent highs tested, and then again a new high above this.
Okay, thanks so much for that. Raymond, 750. Amit, is that something that you agree? Are you also short on Interglobe?
Actually, I would avoid a short here.
Okay.
See, from 1900 levels to sub 1400 levels, the stock has corrected decently. You know, last time its correction ended somewhere near that 200 mark, 200 EMA mark, which is where I mean, it is trading below that zone, but it's not significantly lower from those kind of levels. It's just meandering and buying time around these levels after that big fall. So you know, there could be a counter trend rally on the upside, which could trigger above, you know, 1540 kind of levels. So I would avoid a short as of now.
Okay, avoid a short at this point of time. And the last shot, at least from our guest, is on Canara Bank, and that's by Amit. And obviously, for the past 2 days, PSU banking stocks have managed to rally. Yesterday, most of the PSU banks did manage to rally. Some of the smaller counters were up almost 20%, some sort like a corporation bank. Today it did manage to rally, but has managed to cool off its trading flat in trade. But overall, I believe you first want to talk on the Nifty PSU Bank Index. Correct. And then you'll speak on Canara. Yes,
true. Yeah, so what we are seeing here is, after a long decline, what we are seeing here is a you know, a PSU Bank Index, you know, which is showing signs of a nice reversal from the downtrend to the on the upside. It is making an inverse head and shoulder typically, and this is what you are seeing mostly on most PSU banking charts, you know. So this is just the broader picture of the PSU banking index. Now we'll switch over to the Canara Bank. Yeah. So again, almost on the same lines like the PSU index, bank index, Canara Bank has given a breakout above this green zone, which is the neckline of the inverted head and shoulder after a nice downtrend. So you know, there's a good sector push for the stock, as Darshan rightly said. You know, so there's a sector push. Banking index itself has, even in this phase of consolidation that we had been seeing for the market since last 4 or 5 sessions, banking was you know, charging up and basically showing good momentum on the upside, taking the leadership. That itself in a way told that this market is not falling much. So banking, both the PSU and private banks are moving in tandem. I think banking stocks are in a very sweet spot right now.
Okay, it's at 223. What's the ideal strategy?
I would look to buy with small dips, you know, small dips towards 215 to 210 kind of a zone. Even if someone is aggressive, someone can buy here. Otherwise, a small dip towards 210 to 215 is an ideal place to buy. I'll keep a stop of 202 and the first target that I'll look for is 250 on the upside and then 270.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in. Thanks so much for that.
you.
So Canara Bank is something that's been spoken about. Janeshwar, what's your sense on Canara?
Darshan, it's an classical example of invert head and shoulder pattern, and you know the neckline has been broken at 215. Stock right now quoting at 220. So any dips comes towards the 215, that could be a great buying opportunity. And stop loss, I would say some longer stop loss, because ideal stop loss for an head and shoulder pattern would be an right shoulder. So that is placed near 193. Okay. So 193 would be a stop loss, and if you take a longer view, so stock may test the 270, 280 mark.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in. Bullish call coming in on Canara Bank, and Yash is back with his second chart, and this time it's on Titan. Remember Titan. That's the view that's coming in. And what's your sense on Titan, Amit?
Yeah, I mean, after the fall, it's been just trying to hold around that 200 EMA zone. But still no energy to go up as of now. I would look to buy this only about 1200. That is the zone, you know, that day candle has large volumes, you know. So I would look to buy only about 1200. Till it does not cross 1200, I would just stay away from the counter.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in on the counter. And let's also discuss some stocks which are buzzing in trade. Obviously, you can't ignore Reliance Industries, almost on the verge of a 10 lakh crore market cap that is coming in. Pull up the counter. 1577 is where the 10 lakh crore mark will hit. What's your sense, Janeshwar? Reliance Industries, does it look bullish?
Yeah, of course, it is moving into the higher top, higher bottom formation, and if you look at the higher time frame charts like in monthly or yearly, so it is giving an indication of bullishness. So every 5 to 6% dip should be capitalized as a buying opportunity.
And what's your sense on Reliance?
Yeah, I mean, this has been actually one of the favorites. Last Diwali, this was a big Diwali pick, you know. So, I mean, I continue to really like the way it has broken out from a good 10-year range, you know. I think it has a multi-year kind of an upside. We could be really surprised on the targets on the upside. In the near term, we can see, you know, levels of about 1640 and then 1700.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in on Reliance Industries. Consensus bullish call. The next stock is Vodafone Idea, which has actually managed to double over the past few trading sessions. Amit, would you take a position in Vodafone?
No, I would not. Yeah, of course, it's a very sharp up move, but then the fall was equally sharp, you know. We get carried away looking at the near-term picture, but the broader picture still says it's a very, very weak stock, and probably, you know, some further up move could be, chance to exit.
Janeshwar, Shree Cement, obviously the QIP was announced, but the counter did manage to rally. It's up almost 2%, coming off the day's high, but nevertheless at 20,400. Janeshwar, Shree Cement, how does it look on the charts?
Yeah, if you look at the weekly time frame chart, so stock is trading in a quite range of 22,000 on a higher side, and 17,500 on a lower side. If stock is managed to take out the 22,000, so then only I would go long. Otherwise, traders should avoid this stock.
What's your sense, Amit?
Yeah, I mean, it's showing, it is looking like it's building up the momentum, and the sideways phase is about to get over. A close above, 20,600 would actually propel the stock, and on the upside, the momentum would then build. I think about 20,600, it is likely to again test its all-time highs of about 22,400.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in on Shree Cement. But with that, it's a wrap on today's edition of Hot Money. Ask BQ comes up next. Let me thank my guests who've come in today, both Janeshwar and Amit. Thank you so much for coming in today. Ask BQ comes up next. Stay tuned to Bloomberg Quint.